Alright guys, since we learned something new, the 7-segment display, just want to spend a minute here and show you how you might use Multisim Online to start out this activity and wire up your 7-segment display. So if you're looking at the activity, 1A asks you to use a common cathode. So if we go into here and we look at our tools here, we've got this LED diodes section here. That's not the right one. We need to go to our lamps, sorry. And then we've got a few different types of 7-segment displays. We don't need a decimal in this case. We just need to grab our regular 7-segment display. We'll pop her up here somewhere. Ooh, zoom in too far. Here we go. Put it up here somewhere, kind of up high. That way we can utilize our space as best as possible. And then if you double click this guy, it'll open up a nice menu for us. Looks like we're CA. We got a 7-segment CA. That's common anode. So if you drop that down, you get a 7-segment CC or common cathode. So we need to change that guy over. So that's good. We can go ahead and close this window. And then if we're looking at the diagram, looks like we're going to need some resistors. So go ahead and grab ourselves a resistor here really quick. Pop that guy in over here. Go ahead and double click that guy and we can change its resistance to 220 ohms. Okay, and then go ahead and just make some copies of these. We're going to need about 7 of them. Line those guys up nicely. Here, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright, so we got those going. I don't want to delete. And then we're going to need some switches, it looks like. So come over here, find our switches. Find this SPDT, or single pole dual throw. Grab that guy and pop him here. Then we're going to hit the rotate button twice here to flip that one over, make it a little easier on us. Then we're just going to line up 7 of these with our resistors, just like this. I like to keep everything as lined up as possible, makes our lives easier in the end. Making some copies. Alright, so now we got 7 switches. Looking pretty good. That menu closed, so we can keep some room here. And then, alright, so that's actually, we're going to need a power supply. So if we go here to our sources, we can grab DC voltage, VCC. Grab that guy, we'll throw him up here. And then we're going to go ahead and rotate that guy twice as well. And that's going to make this setup a little bit easier for us. Okay, and then once we get that, we're going to grab ground. And then I want 3 of these, so I'm going to put one up here, like that. Make a copy. Put one over here, like that. Make one more copy. And I'll put that down here, like that. Okay. Alright, so now we've just got to wire this guy up. So first thing I'm going to do is wire all of my switches to my resistors. Just straight across because I lined them up nicely, so it's going to make our lives pretty easy here. I am using a mouse. The mouse will make it much easier. If you have access to one, I would recommend using it. Working with the Chromebooks can be kind of difficult, especially when you're trying to wire in your stuff. Okay, so first resistor I'm going to wire into A, second into B, and so on and so forth. Just get those nice and wired up. Some of these can be sort of difficult to get in there, so definitely recommend using a mouse if you have access to one. Still doable on the Chromebook, just not fun. Alright, so I got my switches to the resistor, resistors to the segments. Now I just need to wire a few grounds here. Wire the ground to the top of my 7-segment display. And then the reason I flipped our VCC around is just so I could wire to this ground easier and keep it out of the way. Now I'm going to take this ground at the bottom. I'm going to wire it to the bottom of my top switch, so switch 1, so we're wiring that to the bottom there. And then I'm going to take the bottom of every switch and connect it straight over to that wire. And that's so when our switch is in the downward position, it'll give us a ground. Okay, so we'll just wire that guy straight on over. And straight on over. And then we're going to do something really similar with our VCC up here at top. Grab the wire tool, as soon as I highlight, there we go. Take that down to the top of our bottom switch. Wire that in, and then we're going to take the top of every switch and just meet it over to that line. Oops. Just like that. And we're good. Alright, so now this is all wired up. We should be ready to go. So we can go ahead and press play here. That way we can get this thing working. Alright, so now we're simulating. So if I press switch 1, notice that A comes on, switch 2, B comes on, switch 3, C comes on, and then D, and E, F, and G. So it looks like they all work. So now you should be able to go through your table and make the different number displays and figure out which A through G, which one of those segments needs to be on to get that to display properly. Like always, if you have questions, please feel free to let me know.